3 years for something that's called insurance. Back about a couple of years ago, when they were talking about the Medicare reform, they talked about trying to buy into Medicare. I would be up into that, here it is, whatever I can to do that. But answering your question, I just am very skeptical with someone who says premium support, because that means the insurance company still makes the money, the system is still there, except we're just throwing things at it. And so my comment is we need to do something about the cost. And we certainly don't want to screw up Medicare, because there's a lot of people in this room are either on it or coming towards it. But there's a lot of people right now, how do you afford the insurance that we're being billed? We just feel like city ducks.
Well, and I agree with you, because for the last 4 years I was self-employed, and I went through the exact same process, and I had a choice of one here in New Hampshire. Anthem Illumina, that's what it's called. I had one choice, and I couldn't deduct anything. There wasn't any competition. There wasn't any other choice for me, and I paid $800. My wife actually had the policy because she's younger than I am. We paid $891 a month plus a $5,000 deduction.
Each of you?
No, the family.
Okay, well we're talking about we're $1,700 a month for the two of us, and we don't have any major medical issues.
Well, I agree, and we've got to do something to figure out how to address costs. And there's nothing in the current or the new healthcare law that does anything to address those costs.
Right. This young lady right here.
Hi, Catherine. I just want to say that, first of all, with Ryan Mill, there's, in spite of everything that we're hearing about Medicare and dismantling the safety net, there's another 10% reduction in the tax rate for the wealthy Americans. And my feeling is that this whole thing of saying 55 and under, or under 55, it's a way to divide and conquer, because first, their benefits will be cut, and then we, as older people, there will be anger fomented against us, and a generational gap will start, where the younger people are being told, you're paying for these Cadillac plans for these older people. How is that fair? That is coming out of your pocket. And because we are older, the thought is that we won't speak out and we won't tell Congress that this is not acceptable. I feel like from all generations we have to stand together and say we need this social safety net, we need healthcare costs to come down. A big part of the problem is the commercial insurance companies.
Well, first of all, the tax part of the budget is revenue neutral. What they plan to do, America, and secondly, the tax reduction is not a reduction in taxes on the wealthiest Americans. It's a reduction in the corporate tax rate so that we're competitive around the world. Right now, we have the second or third highest corporate tax rate in the world. We tax foreign income. We're one of very few companies that tax foreign income so that the companies keep resources offshore. And I believe that part of the quickest way, or the most efficacious way to get the deficit down is to get this economy turned around, get investments going, get people back to work, holding real jobs that pay real wages and benefits, and off the federal system so that the cost of government goes down. And we're in this situation now where we're bumping along at the bottom of this economy, and we can't recover unless we do something to stimulate real growth in this economy. Because ultimately, every dollar that young people pay and older people pay, it's our money. And if we're spending 41 cents more than we're taking in, who's going to pay those bills? Who's going to pay those bills? It's going to be younger people, and when that happens, that's going to be a real generational war. When the younger people in this country, when I'm either mostly dead or completely dead and gone, they're going to wake up one day and they're going to say, we're not going to pay 50, 60, 70% of our income to subsidize the rest of the population who's older. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I agree. And you guys are setting it up?
Go ahead.
Congressman, first, I want to thank you for all this time to go on. This is great to have all these people come out. They're taking time to come out and talk to you too.
Listen, I appreciate it.
I want to jump on just what you were saying there. You know, the second district here lost 8,300 manufacturing jobs from 2002 to 2009. It's the same time frame that China joined the World Trade Organization. Since they joined, they have cheated on all the rules by subsidizing their industries, which has destroyed the paper industry, in not only here, but in the whole Northeast. And they manipulate their currency. And by that, I mean, they're pegging their currency to ours. It gets them a 40% artificial discount in shipping things into the country. At the same time, take the paper industry, they subsidized it with $31 billion that they could buy power and the main ingredient of paper, which is pulp, which raised the pulp price up around the world. And look what we have here. We just had a mill close a couple months ago in Brooklyn. My question is, you know, basically there's a bill out there, it's HR 639. It's called the Currency Reform for Fair Trade Act of 2011. It's got 125 co-sponsors already, bipartisan bill. This bill, a group called the Economic Policy Institute, wrote a report on this, that this bill will create 500,000 to 1 million jobs in a 3 to 5 year time span. We're talking manufacturing jobs, which are the good paying jobs. It will reduce the trade deficit by over $500 billion. And the best part of this whole plan is that it doesn't cost the taxpayers any money. So here we get something that reduces the trade deficit, actually puts people back to work, which will increase tax revenue when people are working real jobs. Just asking, Congressman, is this something that you would co-sponsor?
I'll look at it. I'm not familiar with the bill. I don't agree nor support the Chinese practice of pegging the currency. I disagree with you on some of the things that you mentioned, but I understand the fact that that we need fair trade as well as free trade. Now,
Congressman, just one final point.
sure,
American worker, we're not getting the big bailouts that the banks and the GM and all the rest of them got. All we're asking for is a level playing field. You know, if a country, and I don't care what country it is, if they can make the same product that we make and make it better, then shame on us. But it's really unfortunate when a company can produce paper using free pulp. I mean, our company wish we could use free pulp, ship it halfway around the world, and sell it cheaper than what we can produce it for. I mean, that's not a level playing field, and that's all we're asking for.
well, I agree with that. And
Thank
you should know that I am in the manufacturing business myself, or was prior to January. And I received from the National Association of Manufacturers their top national award because of my sensitivity to the issues of manufacturing. I found out yesterday when I met with the Grafton County Commissioners, the unemployment rate in Grafton County right now is 4.7%. 1 out of every 4 jobs in this state, and it is absolute statistical fact, 1 out of every 4 jobs in this state is directly associated with trade of some sort. So it is important that we have free trade because 25% of this economy is based upon that. But it's also important that the other countries that we're trading with abide by the same rules that we have. So I will look at that legislation and get back to you.
Thank you very much.
Come over here.
Yes, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne Green. Some of you may be familiar with me. No, I guess not. All right. Back onto the healthcare bit. My area of expertise is new technologies. And if you
will Google Wayne Green, you'll find out some of the ones that I've started, like cell phones and personal computers, which we started out of Hillborough, New Hampshire. Well, there's a couple of new technologies that are going to totally change the world. Number one is in health. The whole idea of healthcare is going to blow away. We know how to cure any illness with no drugs at no cost. Scientists have discovered this. Several doctors are doing it. And if you go to waynegreen.com, you'll learn more about that. But it's very simple. And it explains how you can cure any illness and never get sick of it. The body is capable of doing that if you stop abusing it. And as I say, this has been thoroughly tested. I've been writing about it in my editorials. If any of you get New Hampshire To-Do magazine, I've been explaining about that in there. I will be giving a talk on 3 new technologies that will totally change the world in Hancock on May 2nd. Number one is healthcare, which is going to blow away. Imagine curing cancer days before death, total cure without fail. Go to drday.com. Now, the second one, which is going to change everything, is cold fusion, which was laughed at and sneered at, and I published a journal on it. And they are now starting to manufacture units over in Italy. And that is going to put oil out of business totally. We're talking about a unit in the home, about the size of a dishwasher that will supply all of the heat and all of the electricity that you could use at about 100th the cost of oil. Proven technology. And like every new discovery, scientific discovery, the establishment is fought vigorously. I don't think you can name any major scientific discovery that wasn't fought by the establishment. So anyway, these are coming along. Another one that I'm going to talk about is a battery for a car about the size of the shoebox that will power a car for 500 miles and recharge in a few seconds, making it almost no cost to drive cars. And this is coming up. No more gas stations and so forth. And look at what personal computers have done for us. The communication that we have now is a result of that. And we did all of that from Hillborough. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
And I have good solutions to the jobs and to unbloating the government. We can have every government department cut itself in half in 3 years with everybody enthusiastically cooperating. We know how to do that.
Fair enough, Wayne. Thank you.
Congressman, thanks for being here tonight. First of all, I want to thank you and the House for addressing entitlements for the first time really in a serious way ever. And the House has acknowledged that Medicare is going broke and that the fastest way to kill it is to do nothing. And I think tonight you're hearing some of the consequences of addressing a very popular program that is going broke. My concern tonight is about Libya and the President's actions in committing the United States to another military campaign without any meaningful consultation with Congress. And I think that really endangers the checks and balances that are built into our system. And I'm wondering what Congress is doing to reassert its role in foreign policy.
First of all, Congress versus the President of the War Powers Act. It's been debated now since Korea. Johnson got the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. George Bush got a resolution out of Congress on Iraq. President Obama would like a stamp of approval for Libya, but he knows that he can't get it. The situation in Libya is somewhere between perplexing and frightening, because so fast we are getting to the spot where we can't, to a point where we have very few options available. Libya, for some reason,